it's Katie and I'm back with another video. I know I've been MIA for kind of the last couple weeks. I went home for the holidays and it was way harder to film there than I anticipated, so I had only put up a couple of videos while I was home. But I am back. I hope this background's okay. I prefer the background that's like me sitting on my bed with like the lights and stuff, but that is not ideal for light because now I'm facing the window, so this should be a lot better for the lighting. So yeah, let's just get started. I wanted to do kind of makeup for like dull winter skin because I don't know about anyone else, but I definitely have that issue even though I have super oily skin. So I kind of got together some products and things that I like to use in the winter when my skin is kind of like and just everything looks kind of to like liven it up. So that's what I have today, and if you want to kind of see whatever, I thought I would do this like a talk through because I haven't done too many talk through videos, so I thought that would be kind of a fun change. I'm just gonna start off as usual, like I always do, by priming my skin first, even though I don't end up putting on foundation for a while. I just like to have the primer sit. And I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Illuminating BB cream, whatever. Mine is like running out and I'm pretty sad because I love it. I'm using kind of a good amount of that. I might even go in and add more. I'm sorry if this hat's annoying, but my hair is looking not ideal today, so I'm using the hat. Good enough for now. I've already filled in my brows also. I used the Maybelline Master Precise brow pencil and the L'Oreal Artist shadow, not shadow, you know, brow plumper thing. So the first thing that I think of like with dry is just like very matte, and so I'm using this primer from Urban Decay. This is an eye primer and it's in the color Sin. I think this was limited edition, but I'm not sure. They do have like a lot of like champagne-y colors, whatever. And I'm just taking a little bit of that and putting it on my entire lids. It's gonna look kind of scary and like too shiny at first, but I think this just provides like a nice base where if you use matte shadows on top of it, it's still going to look kind of lively. Then I'm also gonna like multitask with this product because I find that I barely use it on my eyes. I bought it in the summer though, so that could have been why. Like this in the summer, too glowy. But I'm just gonna take kind of like that much again, and I'm gonna place it like where I would normally highlight. And this is super sheeny. I just got it on a pimple. Great. It's gonna look great. But it's gonna be like super sheeny right now. But under my foundation, you will see. Yeah, see, do you see that? That's like pretty great, I think, but a little frosty right now. Now that I've got the eye base on and I have it kind of on my cheeks, I'm just gonna go in with light shadows. So I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal La Palette Nude 2. I hope you can see this. It's the one with like the rose tones, and of course I don't have my eye brush. 1 second. I'm just gonna be using the Real Techniques all over eyeshadow brush thing, whatever, and I'm just gonna take the soft pink shade, hope you can see it, this one, and I'm just going to apply that like on the lid and up into the crease. It's just like a soft dusty pink. There's a little brown in there, so I think it's kind of perfect, especially with this primer on, because it's really a matte finish, but then it kind of takes it and makes it a little bit of a satin finish. And I think the key with this look particularly is I don't want to go very heavy on the eyes because I want to keep it light kind of on my whole face and just make it look more alive rather than super smoky dark eyes. See how it just gives like a little definition? I lied. I think that I'm going to take a tiny bit of this matte, the lighter matte brown shade, and just put that just in the outer part to give some depth. that's all I'm gonna do with eyeshadow. Right, so now I'm just gonna move on to foundation because it's kind of an easy foundation look today. And now this is gonna seem weird because I've been all about this luminous whatever, but I still do have oily skin and I have really problematic skin at the moment, so I need something higher coverage. So I'm going for the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. It is I think this is 101 Classic Ivory. It might be a little too light for me, but bronzer, I can fix it. But I just like this because it gives a good full coverage, or medium to full coverage. So I'm just gonna take a little bit to start with, and I'm gonna apply it on the nose first. And I'm gonna blend it with a beauty blender because it is matte, but I wanna sheer it out a little bit so that it's a little bit more wearable. I know matte is super popular in the winter, but for me personally, this is about the only time I can do like glowy. But matte foundations tend to have better coverage, at least the ones I've tried, so I'm just gonna go in with this. And see, now that it kind of covers up that sheen, you're still gonna be able to see it. I hope it translates on camera, but it's not going to be as crazy. But I just love this foundation because the price point is like pretty good and it does keep your skin pretty matte. And then I just kind of double up the coverage over my cheeks, but that's really it. The rest of my skin is pretty good right now. All right, and then I do want to kind of counter the matte foundation with kind of dewy concealer. So I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealers that you've seen me use like 100 times. I'm gonna be using 10 Light for my blemishes because it's a little closer to my skin tone. And what I like to do is place it on first. And then, before I blend it in, I like to put 15 Fair underneath the eyes. And of course, we're going a little crazy with this. But in the winter, I think that this looks good because it gives your face dimension and puts light back into it. And especially with these concealers, it like brings some glow as well. And just blending out with a beauty blender because honestly, once you start using a beauty blender or like beauty sponge, the Real Techniques one is really good too. It's just hard to go back to blending out concealer with a brush, I feel. All right, so once that is set in, another thing I do in the winter that I think really helps is instead of using a brush to set my foundation with powder, I just put some on the beauty blender and then I just set as I normally would. And this is the NYX HD Banana Powder, by the way. Anyway, how's everyone? Back to school? I start tomorrow. And I'm going super part-time this semester because of some weird rules. I have too many credits, but I'm still finishing my second major, so I just have to do 2 classes, which will be fun, but also kind of boring because everyone else is going to be in class. And I'm going to be not, but I think that I'll have like a ton of time to actually like do this YouTube thing, so I'm pretty excited. Then I'm just going to take the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is in 120 Classic Ivory. It's the matte and poreless one, and I'm just going to put this on my cheeks because I just have to set. I can't not set. I just want to bronze it up a little bit, so I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. stipple brush, which is like the most amazing brush for bronzer ever. And I'm taking the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer because it just gives some nice color. And I'm not like contouring per se because I think that kind of makes you look a little more sunken in and like not alive, which I think looks cool sometimes. Like I love that contoured look, but if I'm trying to look a little more alive in the winter, I tend to go more for bronze, which is why this bronzer is like the perfect color, at least for me. I like to add it to my nose as well because I have a huge nose. Thanks, Mom. So for blush, I'm pretty sure I've used this combination on here before, but it is just like my favorite for like glowy-ish looks. And that is the MAC blush in Blush Baby with the Makeup Geek blush in I think First Romance. And first I take the MAC one because it's just like a mauvey purple and it's kind of a satin matte finish, but it really adds just like the perfect amount of blush. And then I take that lighter one, which is kind of an iridescent pink, and I add it over the top. For highlight, I am just gonna go back in with this primer one more time. You just have to make sure you get like a kind of tiny amount of this. And I'm gonna dot on each cheekbone. I'm also gonna dot on the tip of the nose, here, Cupid's bow, and then forehead and chin. And this looks crazy right now. But then I'm just gonna take my beauty blender again and just dab that in. And like the best thing about this, at least for me with oily skin, is that this is a primer, like an eyeshadow primer, so it does kind of give you a glow while also combating like the super shininess that can occur. I'm still using the Neutrogena Healthy Volume mascara. I feel like my lashes might actually be getting thicker. It could just be like me wishing that, but they're so soft, and like this just keeps them so soft, and like it's really nice. I really like it. So I'm gonna do this real quick. So I didn't actually go super crazy on the mascara today. Normally I'm like piling it on, but I think with this one I just wanted it to be kind of like light and nice. And so now for the last thing, this is new. It's one of the L'Oreal Pro Matte Glosses. I hate the smell, but I like the formula. So this one is in the color 314 Nude Allude, and it is not like my typical winter shade. It's like kind of more of a springy pink, but I think it makes me look more alive to have a brighter lip. This is it for the look. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's kind of heavier foundation than I normally do, but you saw my skin. But I just really enjoy this for the wintry months, just as like a pick-me-up, because like when you see yourself, you know, you're like walking, and you're like, wow, my skin looks like decent today, and I look alive, even though it's the middle of winter. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one.